Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? Grand, I hope. So, let's talk about all the beginning stuff that I hope everyone's had a great day, a great week since we were last together. If you weren't here, if the last time you were with me was last Saturday, welcome back. If you're I just moved that in the wrong spot. If you're with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, yay, because we do, artsy stuff all week long, as we should, right? So I really wanted to talk about, make sure that you follow and like me on Facebook at Corbiere-Scott Designs, and follow and like me on Instagram at Corbiere-Scott Designs. Please don't send me a friend request to my Corbiere-Scott Facebook page, because that is my family Facebook page. I try to keep them separate, but try as I may, doesn't always work. So, let's see. Is everyone ready to start? I have so much fun stuff to talk about today. Hi, Lisa. Hey, Keels. So let's see. Oh, and then once you take this class, then hey, Cindy. Then make sure that hey, Tracy. It's like old times. You're taking my class again. Hey, Nance. Once you take this class, then please ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Corbiere-Scott, because that's where we, that's kind of just for us. Hey, Trisha. That's a place that's everyone feels comfortable and confident sharing their artsy thoughts and their artsy works. Not that you can't share it, certainly on the Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook page, but everyone that joins our private Facebook group is kind. That's my biggest rule. Everyone needs to be kind and supportive and nice to each other. So let's see. Whoops, I pushed the wrong button. Sorry. Let's see. Denise, the paints that I use are Prima Marketing Classics. They might be called Art Philosophy now, but they're all under the umbrella of Prima. I think they've just created like more of an art division for their like watercolors and that kind of thing. So they're fabulous, and I'll talk about those in a sec. So let's talk about my stitchery patterns. If someone would test for me, I posted the instructions for ordering these yesterday, and the link didn't work. So then Allison showed a link that worked. Posted a link that she said works. So if somebody could test that out for me today, that would be great. And then let me know, like, if it worked, if you were able to order something, that kind of thing. So being said, I want to talk about that I am lucky enough to draw for the company Adornit, and I have drawn state embroidery patterns. I'm not done with all 50, But there are 18 available right now. There are 6 in production, and there are 6 more that I'm turning in this week. So the kit, this is what comes in the kit, not the fabric, but you'll get fabric. This is just my own fabric. But the kit, it contains the pattern, which is printed on this, which is printed on dissolvable interfacing, right? So do you see it's like a big sticker, right? So you're going to peel this back and stick it right to your fabric, and then you're going to stitch right through it with these beautiful sulky threads. And then once you're done stitching, you're going to put your cloth under warm water, and then just as the water is running, you're just going to rub off the dissolvable stabilizer, and I'm telling you, it just disappears, and you're left with a beautiful embroidery that then is you can puff it up by putting like maybe a wool that wool ironing mat thing under it. And I do mine usually upside down, so like stitching side down, so then that kind of puffs it up. So please order your state and or states that you love, whatever you want. But I was thinking about doing a little stitch along gathering. So let me know your thoughts on that. Oh, it also includes the instructions. It's mostly all backstitch, so I think quite easy. And so you have your stitch pattern here, and then you have instructions here. Super easy. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was today I debuted my Carmen art printable, which are available on my website and Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com. Right there. Anyway, so this is, since today is the 25th of July and Christmas is on the 25th of December, we're going to do Christmas in July. And so here's the Carmen art printable. You can read all about my friendship with her on my website. When you go to purchase the art printables, here are 2 of the thank you so much. Thank you so much, Annalisa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I did a couple of different Copic coloring techniques on these. This is one that's been kind of all over the internet. Yana is the one who kind of introduced everybody to it, and it's a no blending Copic coloring. So I'll show that on one of my Tuesday or Thursday classes. And then this is the blendy Copic. So anyway, that's that. So aren't you just dying to know who we're gonna play with today? So, you know, I am all about a you know what, I didn't write her name down on a piece of paper. I'm all about girl artists. So today's girl artist is Mary Blair. So Mary Blair was born in 1911 and passed in 1978, and she was one of Disney's premier artists. So you can imagine when if she was born in 1911 and so by the time she went to art school, when she graduated, it was the Depression. So there wasn't much, I'm trying to find her. There wasn't much call for like graphic artists, but the one person that was was hiring was Walt Disney. And so she was hired by Walt Disney. She married someone who was also an artist. His name was Lee Blair. Anyway, so we're going to talk about her. So one of the cool things about her is that she was super modern and super, are you kind of getting a clue of what we might be working on today by looking at the illustration about her? She drew the artwork for It's a Small World. So that's what we're gonna work on today. So I am going to show you what I kind of started, and then I'll just talk about her some more. So what I started was I created a 2-page spread. Right? So, but I wanted remember, we're just being influenced by and inspired by the great artists, right? So I wanted my castle to be really flowery because I love flowers. You can have yours be whatever you want it to be. So I just took a ruler. Remember, I said today that you'd need a ruler, and the ruler is only to create the basic layout of your castle, right? So I included her name because, you know, we try to always include the name of the artist that we're being inspired by. Her name is Mary Blair Rennie. Her artwork can be seen in It's a Small World and Cinderella, Lady and the Tramp, Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland. Her color styling is completely unique and different from other artists of her time. So now it wouldn't be so unusual, but imagine in the 30s, it was kind of really, really different. So, so she got hired by Disney, and all of those old artists that were there forever and a day didn't like her bright, colorful, childlike art, which I find kind of ironic since it was for Disney. But anyway, they turned down like everything that she turned in. So once, so then she quit. She quit and she went and found work as an illustrator for some children's books, for some little golden books. I Can Fly, that's one that is quite Mary Blair iconic. And so if you think about that artwork, everybody has seen the cover of that book. If you haven't, look it up, and I'm telling you, you'll know it immediately. I know Trisha, isn't her work beautiful? It's just, I just love it. It's fresh and modern, and that's what made her one of Walt Disney's favorite artists. So she quit, like I said, and she went and worked and illustrated some golden books, and she did some set design, and I'm trying to think where else. She had some other artwork that she did after she quit, that is stuff that you would know. Just a sec, let me look it up. Anyway, so the all those guys that were the artists kind of rejected all of her work, and so that's when she quit. She just had it. But Walt Disney loved her, and so he took her on a trip to South America. And when she went to like an art, like a, what do I want to say? Just like an artist retreat kind of trip. She went to South America, and while she was there, she fell in love with the colors and the textures and the patterns. And when she came back, then she got to draw, you know, the movie The Three Caballeros. That's her artwork. Let's see. So after she returned to Disney, so she came back to Disney after she had quit, he asked her to come back. And that's when she decided that Cinderella's pumpkin coach should be teal in color, and that the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland should be aquamarine, and Peter Pan, the mermaids were lime green. Do you see what I mean? Like, she brought in such new, like a breath of fresh air of color, right? And we all love that. We love color. But back then, it was different, you know? Hey, Barbara, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. So anyway, so start planning out and drawing your castle how you want it to be. So because this is so is going to be so kind of a lot of detail, this is the only project we're going to do today because it's a 2-page spread. I thought if it was a 2-page spread, that would give us lots of room so things didn't have to be drawn small, and it just gives you that big feeling of expanse and, you know, castle-y stuff. Let's see. So like I said, she had quit. So I'm just going to draw and talk. Is everybody all right with that? She had my little ruler. She had after she had been rejected like a whole bunch of times after that, and so she quit again. And then that's when she decided to like illustrate some children's books, and she did some sets for plays and commercials. And I'm trying to think what the commercial was, but it was something that like you would have known. So it'll come back to me. Anyway, she loved the freedom of finding new jobs, and you know, I am great, Barbara. I am great. She just loved I think she just loved the freedom of kind of being her own boss there for a while, but she really missed Walt. And then one day, out of the blue, he called her and said, I have a project that only you can do. And it was to design It's a Small World. So think about, so she got to design this amazing attraction at Disneyland. And it was, I mean, think about it. It was she got to create the dolls and the big expanse of the whole attraction. And so much research went into that of people from all different countries, and how do I convey that through a doll or music or color. So I mean, next time you think about It's a Small World, think about how much thought and research goes in to all of that, to all of the things, the experiences at Disneyland. I mean, if you think about when you, I was just listening to another podcast by my pal, James Luke Burke, and he was talking, so he and his husband both worked for Disney. One still works for Disney. Anyway, they were talking about how, like, everything at Disney has so much thought and, shut up! That's so cool, Rennie. That is so cool. So anyway, they were talking about this whole thing about how everything there is designed to, like, just completely engulf whatever the theme is. So even the flowers in Fantasyland are, not only do they fit aesthetically, but like their names are fantastical. And the if you watch when you're going through Disneyland, even the ground, you know, in what were they talking about? Oh, like in Frontierland, there are horseshoe prints in the cement. Yeah, isn't he the greatest, Rennie? James is just a delight. I will tell you how we met each other. We, at Creativation a couple years ago, he and I worked in the same booth in Photocentric. We both had our stamps on display there, and so we were talking about them and doing make and takes. And so I'm telling you, we just hit it off. We just blab, 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 blab. I know you find that hard to imagine that I would have no trouble at all blabbing with another artist. Or kind of anyone, it really. So anyway, she's just amazing. So there's a couple of books that you could either purchase or get from your library. One is the one I was hoping would be here before this class, but alas, it is not. Pocket Full of Colors, The Magical World of Mary Blair, Disney Artist Extraordinaire. That's the one I'm reading to. That's the one that I have right now. And the other one that I ordered is stinking Amazon. I hate that I love them so. I do. I just got a thing that it's on its way. Whatever. So what's everyone doing today? What are you? One of my dreams was to hear him laugh at Creativation. I know, he does have, like, he has the most infectious laugh, doesn't he? Hi, Carrie. So the other book that I'm getting is Mary Blair's Unique Flair, the girl who became one of the Disney legends. I mean, and it's just so ironic that she did, because she was so rejected by the old guard of Disney animators. There's one that I would love, but I'll probably ask for it for Christmas because it's $42. The Art and Flair of Mary Blair, an appreciation, Disney Editions Deluxe. So you know that's going to be so fabulous. And don't you just love a good art book? I could just look at them. I'm just, you know, I could just look at them forever and a day. So, I am going to, so I took a picture. I created I just drew a bunch of different possible, what do I want to say? just some possible square fillers. So I'm going to try and post that picture right now. Let's see. Of the square fillers that I have, that I drew. Let's see. Okay. Well, it's sideways, but it's there. There, do you see it? Did it show up? Yes, yay! So, I just drew some, you know, piddly sketches. So, let's just draw and talk. So like I said, I think I want mine to just be full of fanciful flowers. And I drew this big sun here because I just wanted it to be happy, but I'm feeling like I want to put a nice quote in there. So I'm kind of fiddling around with that idea first. So for this entry in our art journal, I'm feeling like I just want to do a wash of watercolors, and then I really want to come in with my colored pencils to build up that depth. So let me know what you're doing. How is everyone today? I wanted this to look kind of like one of those, you know, like the 60s and 70s big funky daisies. I just love those. My mom had this enamel pin. She had a couple of them. My sister and I might have chose them, probably at the you know, the 5 and dime. But they were big, and they were bright colors, of course. They were green and pink and yellow and white and orange, you know, very 60s, early 70s. So these, I was thinking about like making these almost look like a cinnamon roll, right? Come on. How cute is that? Hi, Judy. Oh, really? How cool. How cool is that, Judy? You know, it's so funny. Speaking of old sheets, I remember we got our sheets from JCPenney during the white sale. Remember back when they used to have a white sale? Anyway, they mine had blue, yellow, and pink kind of roses. Well, what other stores were there, Judy? Really? Sears and Penny's, which is kind of crazy now, isn't it? Isn't it crazy that Montgomery Ward's, that was around forever, is gone now, and that JCPenney's is kind of struggling, and Sears is pretty much gone, and I just, gosh, that kind of makes me so sad, you know? Anyway, my sister and I saw my sheets on some vintage. You know, I watch all of those vintage Instagrams where they sell old stuff because I can't stand it. I gotta buy it, or at least just look at it, right? Anyway, my sister and I were like, let's make a pillow. Let's get some of those sheets and make a pillow out of them. So that's our new goal. So I'm thinking I'm gonna draw a 5-petal flower. Oh, Keels, I'm anxious to see how acrylic paint works. You know what? I could still do that. You never know. I just want it to be mine. I know this will come as a complete surprise to all of you, but I really like bright colors. So that's kind of where I'm going with mine. I'm thinking I might do like even more. Shut up. Do you remember that Jello that separated? Remember? Like somehow when you mixed it, it would be like a layer of deep green and then a little bit lighter green and then like the almost the whitish green. That's what this is kind of reminding me of. So how about everybody else? Are you going to try and watercolor and do some colored pencils? What medium do you think you'll use? Are you going to try some acrylics for brighter color? 1, 2, 3, Jello! That's right! Lynn, of course you would remember. Of course you would remember. I loved that. We didn't get to buy it very often. We didn't have very many store treats, and my mom made everything, which, you know, now I'm like, that was fabulous. Hi, Sharon. Well, draw, and I bet you then maybe it'll inspire you. You'll get some cool ideas. I mean, I thought about like all the possibilities, right? Your castle could be whatever you want. You could make a castle that was like from the sea. So it could be seashells and waves and, you know, whatever you want. Ooh, gel pens, Olga. Ooh, good thinking. So what are you guys filling your squares of your castle with? Are you filling it with flowers or seashells or shapes? Just shapes in general? It could be rainbows. It could be hearts. It could be, gosh, the possibilities are endless, right? It could be whatever you ding dang please. So I am still, I was thinking down here, I was thinking like I wanted to somehow make it roots, but I wanted it to be, what if I did? Maybe, let's see. These look kind of Scandinavian, sort of, don't they? So, all of the above. Sherry, can I talk to you as a fellow Michigander? Can I tell you how much I am adoring all of your pictures that you're posting? I know it's sad, but they're just bringing me such joy. Thank you for sharing. I don't know if I like that. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. So we could do another one of these. Remember, all one of the big rules in graphic design, the design rules, is repetition. So repeat. If you have something that you kind of really like, repeat it 2 more times so you have at least 3 of whatever that is. Ugh. Let's go a little closer and then a little further out. Right? Repetition is a big oh, are you still there, Cher? And you know, during the corona, I was so going to go get some ice cream from her, and I haven't done it yet. You go right ahead, Judy. If you want to paint, you paint. I'm still drawing mine, but I could start painting if you'd like. You know, I'm always up for that. I could start painting some so I could kind of show you where I'm kind of, like where my head's at. I was thinking about, I usually always paint and I go over everything with my black pen and then paint and kind of fill in. But I'm thinking maybe this time, so let's see, can you see my paints? I'm going to dig out some pink, put it over here on my palette. Let's see, let's do this one. So let's paint in these petals. This one, I'm feeling like, I think, I do have a landline. I think I am the only people left on this earth that still has a landline. Yes. And I will tell you, 90% of the calls we get these days are stupid political calls. Or our prescription is filled. That's about it. So I'm feeling like I want to do mine all kind of a nod to the 70s. So all like bright colors. I'm kind of, you still have a landline too, Keels. Yay. I'm glad it's not just me. Okay, I'm digging that. Let's see. We could start painting some of these stripes. That might be kind of cool. Can you guys see what I'm painting? Do I need to scoot over a little bit more? Nope, you can see. I don't even know what other colors I'm going to bring in here, but I'm just thinking like, you know, blues and yellows and purples and green. Why not? Exactly, Lori. Exactly. How else do I find my cell phone? Calling myself. What if Jeff's not here to help me find it? Now, the thing that I lose all the time, and I'm not kidding around, my stinking glasses. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. So, oh, I was going to tell you this trick that if you if you draw something, and remember if you put watercolor on top of pencil, you cannot erase that pencil. But if you draw it and then you just go over and you just lightly erase, you can still see the outline of what you drew. So then you can just paint we'll just paint those petals without the lines, right? Ta-da. That's kind of a pretty cool trick, I think. How's everyone else doing? Good, I hope. How is the weather where you are? Here it is sunny and a little bit of clouds, but it is so gross and humid. Let's see. What else can I tell you? What else can I tell you about? Oh, hot and humid. Ugh. I really hate humidity. Let's see. What else can I tell you about Ms. Blair? Her paintings felt as if you were seeing the world through the eyes of a child. Isn't that the coolest? Come on. Who wouldn't want that? And I told you that she was, she painted lots of the murals within Disneyland too. One was in, I think some of them are in Tomorrowland, and then they've, Tomorrowland and, I'm trying to think where the other ones were, but the other ones were also, they replicated them in Disney Tokyo and Disney Paris. Very cool. Very cool. I'm liking these, we've had a kind of a run here where we've celebrated some women artists. I'm kind of digging that. How is everybody else feeling about that? Just kind of change it up a little bit. Ooh, Maxwell House. She created some ads for Maxwell House. Are you near the water, Sherry? Pass the brush. Isn't that the coolest? I love that. I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I know. Whatever with the humidity in Michigan. Sherry, can you imagine this hair? Imagine my hair with that humidity. The Grand Canyon Concourse at the Contemporary Resort and the Tomorrowland Promenade. Those were the two big places that she did some murals. I'm sure there are lots of others. Her husband, did I say this already? Her husband was also an artist and also worked for Disney. Interesting. Mullet Lake. Making me homesick. Were you able to eat some cherries? I know there's no cherries festival this year, but were you able to eat some cherries? I hope. Sprouts cherries are gonna have to do for me this year. I can't go home. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get some orange out here. I'm gonna add some orange to the center of this flower. And maybe you know what? I'm going to try that trick over here too. I'm just going to kind of erase the lines, right? So the base of the I bet it was. There's nothing like those fruit stands, is there, Sherry? Nothing like it. And I always overindulge in the cherries, and then I have a big fat stomach ache. But they're so good, I can't help myself. Okay, so just make sure you wipe off all of your eraser crumbles, and then you can just come in and paint your tulip or whatever you're drawing I will show you how to draw this kind of a tulip. It's super easy, and once you're going to be decorating your envelopes and your grocery list and who knows what with these tulips. Okay, so you're going to draw a W, and then you're going to come from this point to this point. Stop it, right? And then you're just going to do some petals down here. So those are pretty modern. You could do a stem down here if you wanted. Or you could just have just the petals. You could do a circle right here. That just might be for fun, right? I'm going to erase, right? By just slightly erasing the lines, I'm telling you, it takes on like a whole different kind of look, right? Your, let's make this one blue. Your painting doesn't have an edge, and that's kind of a different than what we've been doing. But that's good, right? It's good to learn new things and try new things. And remember, everything that we do in this class, I don't want you to feel like it needs to be a masterpiece. I want everyone to feel like they learned something, even if you don't love it. So if you don't love it, think about what you learned. I learned don't put those two colors together. Or I learned I did my lettering too close to the edge. Or I don't know. I like things to feel more graphic. Or I like things to feel more organic. Or whatever the thing is, I just want everybody to feel like they learned something. They learned something from each artist that we're studying, right? That you're, just try their method for the learning possibilities. And then when other people are brave and post their projects in our group, I want everybody to, you know, if you're going to comment something super nice to encourage them to keep on going. Oh, shut up. Look how pretty that green looks with that orange. I'm digging it. 11 pounds of blueberries. So what are you going to can them? Are you going to make jam? What are you going to do? I have this blue and I don't want to waste it, but let's do this. I could do this tulip way over here. It's kind of a blue-green. Stop it. Don't you love when that happens and you didn't mean it to? Look how pretty that is. Pretty. How's everybody doing? Good? So now, look, I have some parts that are dry. So I'm going to take colored pencils, and I'm going to kind of enhance what I've colored, right? So here, I want my edges to be more pronounced, deeper, because they're a little bit recessed, right? So I'm just coming in on the very edge and bringing that color out just a little bit, right? Here and here, right? And then, like, but not a lot. I don't want you to, like, overwhelm it with color. because we did, you know, it's all about enhancing what we've done. So then maybe come in with something that's a little bit lighter shade. There we go. And then here's what I like to do. So this is, so the first one I used was Process Red, that's here. And this is Hot Pink, but watch, I'm gonna go over where I started, excuse me, where I kind of bled into the paint. And then I'm just going to, I'm barely touching my paper. And remember I talked about, it was in one of the Tuesday classes, I believe, I talked about my colored pencil technique of blending, and it's a rounded edged, a rounded tipped pencil is blending bliss, because you're going to come in with that little bit of circles, circles, and that is going to create this seamless blend. Someone asked if on one of my Tuesday or Thursday classes, if I would do some Gamsol blending, and I said yes, but I am a firm believer. I mean, it's not like I don't use Gamsol, I do every now and again, but I just think that with your pencils and your dedication, shut up, look at that. It's so pretty. You should be able to blend like nobody's business. So let's try here. This, right? So we're gonna try, we're gonna start here, because remember down here is gonna be our darkest, right? And we're just going to like kind of, it's almost like a scribble, but again, I'm barely touching the paper, because colored pencil, once it's down, it's hard to, we can't remove it, that's for sure. And we'd have to work really hard to blend it out. So, right? Okay, so we did that. Now we're gonna, again, come back in. Blueberry crisp, stop it right now, so yummy. Okay, now we're gonna take that hot pink, which funnily, I don't think that it's hot pink at all, but we're gonna come in and we're gonna go right over the edge of where we ended our Process Red. We're just gonna do those barely little circles, right? I mean, you could certainly draw patterns within your, you know, you could draw polka dots or stripes or zigzags, whatever you wanted within your painted base. You could draw them with your colored pencil. That's cool. And if you feel like it's not deep enough, you can come back, certainly, and deepen that one right there. But we're just gonna, like, just like with watercolor, I want you to, like, little by little, little light layers, light layers, light layers. The more light layers that you create, the happier you're going to be with your artwork. You'll see the difference. Because remember, there's no reason to rush, right? And if you're using Prismacolor colored pencils, as I am, Prismacolors are really waxy, and so their blendability is top-notch. One of my dad's favorite pies is blueberry pie. Miss Judy. Where are you, Judy? Did you say you're in Connecticut? I'm just wondering why you're getting blueberries. I remember the first time, you know, when, because I summered on Sugar Island growing up, we always picked wild blueberries, which are, you know, about the size of a gnat, and it takes forever and a day to like fill the bottom of a bucket, let alone fill a bucket. But the first time my mom took us to a blueberry patch that was more, what are those? What are the blueberries that are not wild blueberries? You know, the ones that are on the big bush. Oh my gosh, we ate so many blueberries. Raspberries are my favorite. My grandma had some raspberry bushes beside her house, and she would send us out there to pick them, so because she would make tapioca or a custard and then make a raspberry sauce. Please, we ate them all. You know, we'd come in with like a quarter of a cup of raspberries and expect her to, you know, do something fabulous with it. Anywho, so does that give you guys kind of a little bit of a color lesson? Is everybody kind of cool with that? I think I'm gonna come in. Okay, so do you see how I kind of overshot it with the green here? So, because you can't really remove paint from these pages, I'm just gonna come in with my color pencil and kind of make it part of the leaf, right? And then here. And this one, interestingly, is orange, but it's sure looking kind of yellow. Hey, Sarah. How are you? Okay, let's see. So let's come in with some cadmium orange. So I am like barely touching it. And I kind of love that because it just leaves that cool pencil-y texture, right? I'm kind of digging that. And let's see, what do we have? This is just orange. Let's see what that does. Pretty. Again, we're just barely touching. And we're doing that circle blend where we're just like barely circle, 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 circle. Does everybody kind of get that? Like you're barely touching it, but you're just drawing a series of blendy circles. And the cool thing about that is that it's gonna make it, it'll be a much less of a harsh edge. Oh, we need to do something with that green. Let's see what this chartreuse. Oh, come on. Look at that. And that other green was lime peel and chartreuse. That's what I'm putting over my... Oops, sorry, I hit the thing. This is my... Remember, it's my Prima marketing, the classics. So this green tends to be a little bit, there we go, tends to be a little bit limey green, sort of, kind of a spring green, and so I think it lends itself to these colored pencils. Yes, Judy, I'm telling you, layers and layers and layers. You're gonna get the coolest. I think that's where you get that's where the fun begins. When you just, more and more, the layers, and just light layers, like barely the next layer, right? So I'm gonna put some orange. Can you see that? I'm gonna do some orange as my next layer of the 1, 2, 3 Jello petals. So this week in Tuesday and Thursday's class, be sure to, on my Tuesdays and Thursdays class, I'm going to be demoing some cool things to do with the Carmen printable. So be sure to print that off and print it on some regular cardstock. We're going to play with a new technique. Just regular white cardstock. That is your assignment if you choose to accept it. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit, and then it needs to dry before I move on to something else. Well, but here's the thing, Judy. You totally, that's something that you're learning, right? So that's what art journals are for. Art journals are for experimentation and trying new things and trying new mediums, and they're not supposed to be, everything is a masterpiece. I don't want anyone to ever feel like that. They are the kind of whatever we want them to be, right? It's all about learning a new technique and trying something new and working it out, working out the process. It doesn't have to be, okay, I'm going to erase some of these pencil marks because I drew kind of heavy on this. I don't ever want anyone to feel like it's not good enough, because it's art. You get better and better and better with practice, just like everything else in life. I just dig that you show up every week to paint with me, to play with me. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so now I'm going to paint these petals blue. I like to do an outline and then fill in. So I use a smaller brush. I just feel like I have a little bit more control that way. It takes a little longer, but so what? What else do I have going? Please, we're in the middle of the COVID, you know? Oh, I'm loving that. I love that everybody, it is your playbook, Olga. That's exactly what it is. I don't want anyone to ever feel like that's like your artist portfolio or anything. It's for fun. We're learning new things. We're trying new mediums and new styles. And I'm telling you, the more you embrace the play, the more open with, like a childlike awe, the more you're gonna see bits and pieces of each of the artists that we've studied appear within your artwork. You're gonna, you know, do some color combinations like Mondrian, or you're going to do, or maybe some angles like he did, or maybe you're really gonna embrace Monet's pointillism. Depends. And even if like one wasn't your favorite, you're going to, like, part of you is going to like, ooh, but I remember that when I juxtaposed this with this, like Picasso, maybe he wasn't my favorite, he wasn't my favorite style, but you can certainly appreciate his work and what went into his paintings and the feelings and emotions that they evoked. And I'm telling you, that is the power of art. That is the power of art. So, are we, we're 7 minutes past 1. Sorry about that, girls. You know, sometimes I just get myself all deep in painting. And I was going to set a timer and then, well, that didn't happen. So, please, I'm so glad, Rennie. I love that you love sketching it. Because it's so free, right? You can fill it with whatever. So I can't wait to see what everybody posts this week, like what you filled your castle with. And embrace Mary Blair's, Google her and embrace her style. See what you can glean from her. What maybe it's the color choices, or maybe it's her modern funky flair. Maybe it's just freedom to embrace color and patterns. Whatever it is, make the most of it. And yay! I'm so glad. Yes, please get a color wheel. You'll be so happy. You'll be so happy. If nothing else, either pick colors that are beside each other on the color wheel. Remember we talked about that's analogous. Or pick colors that are opposite on the color wheel. Red and green, blue and orange, violet and yellow, right? Or pick warm colors or cool colors. I'm telling you, the more you just use this as a tool, you are going to see your artwork in any form, whether it's art journaling or card making or scrapbooking or whatever. The more you embrace your color wheel as a tool to just have with you as a reference point, oh my gosh, you will see the difference. You will see the difference. It will improve your artistic eye, to be sure. I have it with me always. I do. I love it. And they're like under $5. It doesn't have to be a big, complicated one. And once you start to enter the world of color theory, it goes on and on and on. But just the basic knowledge of a color wheel, you will love it. You will see the growth within yourself. And now I've blathered on for another how many minutes? Holy tamale. What time is it? I've blathered on for 3 more minutes. But I'm so glad, Annalisa, that I got to hear that you got a color wheel. Everyone should have a color wheel in their artsy arsenal. You can purchase them anywhere, Barbara. You could purchase them from Amazon. You could purchase them from your local scrapbook stores. your local art stores like Dick Blick or Jerry's, or here in Arizona we have one called Arizona Art Supply. I got mine from art school 500 years ago, but I have many. I've painted them. Maybe we'll do that one week. We'll paint a color wheel, because then you get a basic lesson in mixing of colors. Because once you mix colors, sisters, oh my gosh, the world opens up even bigger. You will love it, love it, love it. I keep saying that. I know I keep saying that, but you will. I promise that it will just, once you I told you, it is very rare that I use color straight from the pan. I almost always mix it with something else I want my own colors, right? So, order a color wheel and order the Carmen Art Printable, and meet me back here on Tuesday at 2 o'clock Arizona time, and we will paint. And remember, you need to just print it on regular heavy cardstock. And we're going to play with a new technique. I adore you all. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you join me. Every week. It just means the world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you Tuesday. Bye.